It says we are live. I'm gonna pull up the chat. Say hello when you guys hop on. We are beyond excited. Turn down my volume so we don't have feedback. And then I'll give it just a second, then I'll hit record so that way if anybody wants to catch the replay, they can. We're just hanging out for a second. I hope you guys are having a good morning. JC says hello. JC applied for a hot seat. We have to connect. I saw your application. So this is our first hot seat, you guys, for LCUG, which is so exciting. I'm so excited about this. It's a vision that I kind of had, and Dana is willing to be my, what do we call this? Guinea pig?
Guinea pig. I'll be your guinea pig any day.
Okay, well, we have a few people that just hopped on. Hi, Anna. She says, hello, ladies. We love Anna.
Hi, Anna. We love Anna.
She's our master of our bookkeeping, and we could not live life without Anna. So,
my girl.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to hit record, and then we're going to go in. I'm going to be mindful. Good morning, Megan. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Thanks for getting on with us. Megan Henderson's on. Okay, I'm going to hit record, Mama Schon, so it'll pop up on your screen. And we are going to dive in. Feel free, you guys, in this hot seat session to drop inspiration for Dana. This is what's fun. So in the mastermind that I just launched, we have hot seat. We have peer-to-peer coaching is what we're calling it. And what is neat is that you're getting feedback, not just from one person. So yes, you're literally in the hot seat with me, but you're also in the hot seat with our LCG girls. So those that are hopping on, Brittany, Megan, Anna, Angela, if you have feedback or questions that I should ask, Dana, this is an opportunity to get feedback from not just me, but all of our LCG girls. So first, we're going to start with just having her introduce herself, and then we're just going to dive in like you guys are kind of not here. So drop things in the chat, give praise, celebrate her. She's got an exciting announcement that you guys are finding out first. And then what we'll do is we'll just have a coaching session so you can kind of see what it looks like, but also help Dana get some feedback. And let's go. So Dana, aka Mama Schon, tell them who you are and kind of have the floor for a minute.
Let's go. I'm Mama Schon, and if you know me personally, I'm Dana Schon, but everyone in this community calls me Mama Schon, and I'm an empowerment coach and a children's book author, which is what my true passion is writing children's books and sharing my love of reading with kids. I've also created Mama Schon, the brand, and releasing, so exciting, in this spring, a new subscription box. So Mama Schon is about care. You know, I have a care model that I coach around. So I've decided that I was looking for a box to send some friends, actually some friends in this group. I wanted to send them a box just showing them how much I care about them, or, you know, how valuable they are to me. But I couldn't find anything that really met those needs. So I decided to come up with a care box. And the first one I'm doing is all local products. I'm still working on pricing. I'm still working on finishing up the products and just trying to launch that. And that's probably where I need the most help in coaching, is the launch. But the care boxes will be items that make you feel good, you know, like smell good, taste good, feels good. Did I do all the senses? Feels good, tastes good, smells good?
Yes, got to hit on all of it. Yes.
So all the senses, because Mama Schon is really about showing people that they're valuable and that God created them for a purpose. And I just want them to feel like they're cared for when they receive this box. So the first box, I have a whole vision, of course, for multiple boxes, but the first box will be about, you know, care. And that's kind of where I'm working toward. I'm working towards like a March 20-ish release, still kind of working on that exact date, but mid to late March for the release date. So we're in the middle of January, and I really want to start that whole launch process now, but I'm really struggling with how to actually launch that through social and even just in the community too, because I still want to be known as a community face. You know, that's where my power is.
Yes, it is. And aside from that, you're just a huge influence in your community. You give back. You have, so one of the things that we talked about, there's a hot seat application, like JC had filled one out. Several of the girls here in the group have filled it out. And one of the things she said too is like just how we can manage being entrepreneurs, but also being moms. So finding time, you know, guys, time is one of my zone of genius. And me and Dana have been in each other's spaces for, gosh, since 2019. Yeah, we met in 2019. She's been to all of the Reach retreats. She is now an elite accelerator in the mastermind, and she is literally just committed to growth and expansion this year and doing it in a way that serves people. And like, this is why I had to have you in the hot seat, because it's just beautiful. And you need feedback, right? Like that's the thing too, is so many times with entrepreneurs, we don't have someone to bounce ideas off of. And that's why I have this group. Ask your questions, connect with each other, hire each other. But we're going to dive in now if you're good. And we're just going to like go for it. So we have 20 minutes or so that, so we'll see. Perfect. Okay. Well, about 20 minutes and we're just going to go in. So let's talk about, you said you wanted some help around this vision of the launch of the boxes. So you feel like you feel good about sourcing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you feel like you feel good about the brand of the boxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty good about the product itself. I just want feedback around launching because I want to launch obviously on social, but also in the community too, you know, because that's where my strength is. The strength is in my local community. I have good following on Facebook, mostly and Instagram, but I'm very strong in my community. And so I'm taking advantage of all avenues.
Okay. And then as far as we're talking about time as well, so we'll hit on that, but like, how is the production side of things look like for the box? Like, what is your investment of time in now, and not necessarily just creating the box, but distributing them, putting them out into the world?
I guess I feel like this is how I am. It'll happen as it comes. I mean, I'm working on one step at a time, and I am very much so an in the moment person. I have a plan in my brain, I guess, of what I feel like it looks like. I have the box size, I have the product sizes that I have the vendors. It's all local Cincinnati based vendors. So this is kind of a Cincinnati box. Care Box is the first one. So it's all local owned people. And the production of it all will be small scale at first. I'm only going to produce 40 boxes at first, and I'll increase as needed. So I have the budget set around that. I'm still working on pricing it out because I want it to be affordable. I always want to make sure that I can bring value at an affordable cost, because not everyone can afford, Mama Shon's care boxes are not a priority when eggs are $8 a dozen, right? So I want to make sure that what I'm providing has a lot of value to it, of monetary value, but also that what they're looking for in a gift. I'm not even answering your question, but
no, that's good. No, this is good. And this right here shows you guys all that has to go into something, right? Like all the thought and figuring out and kind of setting up the roadmap for how you're going to not only create, produce, and then launch the products. One of the questions I have that just came up, and this is what I love about the hot seat, is have you thought about also, to make it more cost efficient, to have sponsored items, kind of similar to like what we do for swag bags, like having sponsored products where these local to Cincinnati businesses are getting to support the women, but it's making it a little bit more cost efficient. Like that's a big reason why I work with referral, like sponsors and referral partners for the retreat swag, is because I want to provide excellent products to attendees, but I also want it to be quality, like service for the person's products we're putting in there. So have you thought about that yet?
I have thought about that, but I almost felt like I needed to release the first 40 boxes to show the value and show that it will be successful so that sponsors want to participate. And it might be something that I can go ahead and go in and start reaching out for sponsors right away and maybe build excitement around this is the first box, this is, and maybe that would attract sponsors. So I really hadn't thought about it until just now that I could build excitement around the box to the sponsors. Even if I get one or two items sponsored, that would help with the cost of the box too.
Yes, especially, and that helps them be a part of your mission, like being able to say, this allowed me to launch this into the world. But if you do something like that, we have to think about time, because that is something that you brought up in your message. So having an application like through Dubsado or like your Google Drive or something where they can apply to be a sponsor, we can talk about that, because I literally have the structure that I use of how they apply to be a swag bag sponsor, but you would have to be a care box sponsor. Because it's a really great opportunity for them. When people get their boxes, they're sharing it, they're opening it up, they're seeing the names on the product. So, and that still makes it where you're going to be able to add really great value, but keep it more cost efficient. So I feel like it's a win-win for you, for the people who are sponsoring, as well as for the clients. If you guys have thoughts about that, drop it in the chat for her. If you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Or if something doesn't sound good too, or you're like, oh, wait, that's complicated. Now, I think Mama Schon too, like you already have a vision and you have most of your products. So don't add something right now if you don't have to, but it could be something that is like an expansion plan for the boxes, is having certain application dates as part of your launch program, because you'll always be kind of launching the new subscription box, right? Is that you say, hey, we're taking applications for, how often are you going to launch them?
I'm quarterly, I think. So,
Yeah.
Which is kind of seasonal, it can be a seasonal box, but quarterly. And I also eventually want to have boxes that are for maybe like showing care around a death in the family, or, birthday box. I want to eventually have boxes like that are all customized, and to meet any demand, I only distribute X amount of boxes. And once they're gone, they're gone. Unique every time. And it's good though. The application dates are good. So I guess building that excitement around the box, what is the best way to go about that? Like to start leveling up, like now introducing the boxes, as I'm still working with Megan to get my branding done, so that the website will release the end of the, middle of February, my website releases. So there'll be a spot there for their care boxes. So I can use that to start the launch of the boxes, to really start building excitement. And I thought maybe I would do some email list around getting, in line for your first subscription box, because I'm only going to release so many. I think 40 is my number. I'm not trying to think too small, but I don't want to think too large either, and not be able to, since I'm, financially supporting this, and not be able to support 100 boxes. Does that make sense? Trying to keep that small.
Okay, well, first of all, you're already on the right track with launching, because you have a limited supply, and it's not like you're leading with that and it not being authentic. Anytime, guys, that we are launching something or we're putting an offer out into the world, couple things: deadlines drive decisions. So deadlines to put in your applications to be a sponsor, to put in your order, to get on the wait list, those drive decisions. It pulls people out of the waiting room. And sometimes if people are just too comfortable and they're just hanging out, they're never going to get out of the waiting room, right? So like there's a reason. And it's not like for instance, when I close a cart for a retreat, it's because they need time to get their packing list, to connect with the women, to do the pre-retreat experience. Otherwise, they're not getting the experience that I promise. So for you, it allows you to be able to make sure you have their addresses, you have all the information that you need, you have everything set up, you've got your shipping deadlines orchestrated, and you're not having to promote while you're trying to source and fulfill the orders. So I think that is the right track. So deadlines drive decisions, but also because you have a limited supply, that causes the demand. Okay, so that's the thing there too, is people are going to be like, man, I want Mama Shon's first box. And that's how we kind of lead with our launching format is, hey guys, get on the wait list. Starting with a wait list always lets you see too who is interested. And I am one of integrity, and you know that. Like if you're on the Reach Retreat wait list, you find out where we're headed before it ever goes public, almost a whole week in advance. And so that allows you to say, first of all, are people interested in this? Who is? And giving those people who are loyal and have been following you and supporting you access first. And oftentimes when you're launching, what is so good about that is that you have people who already strongly, like your hot list of people who really want to support you, that are receiving these first set of boxes, and they're sharing, they're promoting it. Angela made a great point, and this is where this was leading into. Angela did that training on affiliate programs. You guys know I talk about referral programs, and she said affiliates would be amazing to promote your new box. And so that's the thing is, you are a founding member of Reach, and there are perks that you get. There's founding members and or not members, but you know, we can come up with whatever that name looks like, but like founding people who have believed in the care package and believe in the mission that Mama Shon's creating and wants to be a part of it. And maybe they really get to be part of the growth and expansion of this. Word of mouth is the best thing, and you know that.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
helpful?
I know that. Okay, great. That's great suggestion. I hadn't really thought about affiliates.
Yeah. So, but there's a way to approach it. And you can talk with Angela, you know, she's really, really good at that, but talking to her about it in a way that feels aligned. Like you don't want someone representing your brand or your product that hasn't been in your field, hasn't, you know, you don't want just this massive influencer. You want people who are genuine, that are authentic. That's what I talk about, having authentic referral partners in this. So I think starting with the wait list first,
Okay.
creating a little form where they opt in. So you have Flodesk, right?
Yeah, I have Flodesk. Yeah,
Okay.
I know how to use it.
Yeah. So you don't know how to use it.
The problem is technology, you know?
Okay, so good thing we're in the mastermind together because we're going to knock that out. So we're going to make a little opt-in form on Flodesk. It's super easy. And it'll be like first name, last name, email.
Okay.
It's going to say like, get on the wait list. Okay. Megan Henderson's doing her website, branding you guys in our group. And she eventually can put that on the site. But right now we can share that to Instagram stories and like a very low key thing and just get it out there. First place we're dropping it is in LCG.
Love it.
You guys just found out.
Very little people really know about this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we can put that in and you'll just see like who's interested, who wants to be a part of this mission. And just say like, we'll have oh, it doesn't matter, guys. The dogs are barking. This is real life.
5 seconds, right? 5 seconds.
Okay. You guys, this is your great opportunity while she's taking care of the dogs, doing her Mama Schon role is to ask questions or give her feedback. Is this helpful for you guys too? Are you thinking about how you could add some of these things to your launch strategy? I'm looking at your chat and seeing if anybody has anything to add. Oh, you had chats going and I didn't see it. I had to refresh it. I love your brand. I'm so excited to launch your website. You've been amazing to work with. Megan, I'm so glad you guys got to do this together. You're both just incredible souls. I would also try to do Galentine boxes for your bestie. Oh, Brittany said you should do, yes.
I love that idea. I hadn't thought of Galentine boxes.
Valentine's Day is February 13th. Okay. And since everyone will be buying somebody flowers or a card, why not your box? Right there is exactly what you would use in your tag. Like, are you kind of overbuying the traditional, etc. item? Like snag a Galentine's box full of unique self-care products or whatever. That sounds really cheesy. I wouldn't mean to sound like a commercial, but like how she wrote that, like, why not buy a box? Like
to have this so I can go back and read.
Yeah. So we got to stay focused because I want you to get the most, but I think these are cute. Also, the wait list can help you make decisions last minute. Yes. And like seeing if they want to be involved. That's the thing too, is if we want to start with like, hey, would you want to help me share about this and into your audience? And like, we already know before we ever launch, we have these people backing it. First of all, I would back it, you know that. So sign me up. But we'll create a short little easy opt-in on Flodesk.
Okay.
Share the hyperlink to the Flodesk link on Facebook, in your Instagram stories, in your link in bio, and just get it. Because wouldn't it be so cool to be like, we're launching and we've already sold 50% of our boxes.
Oh, it would be so cool to do that. Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing with launching Mama Schon is early bird pricing.
Okay.
Again, early bird pricing rewards your warm audience, the people who have been loyal. It also lets you kind of get some of that stress off of you a little bit because you've been putting a lot of time and money up front. So it's kind of getting money to come back in a little bit quicker. And then it has a deadline, which drives decisions. Okay. Because the early bird is going to close. And if you don't purchase this box by early bird, then it's going to go up X amount of dollars. Okay. What that does too, like when I use that strategy within my own business, is I have a lot that goes into certain things that I like the retreat, like so much work that goes into it. And it's like, to me, I'm having to design and finish out an itinerary and do all these things at the same time as I'm trying to still promote and sell. And that takes a lot of energy. So at some point, I've got to draw the line and say, like, I'm done promoting. Now I'm all in on content and deliverables to the people who've purchased. Okay. And that's where I think you'll have to draw that line at some point and close the cart to the boxes.
Yeah, because I will have, since I'm a one-woman show, I will have a lot of production to do and to work on too.
Yeah.
And have good ship times. I mean, I really want all that to flow really well.
So I think creating you a timeline is going to be helpful, where we know, like if we're launching every quarter, it's going to be this repeatable launch strategy. You'll have to tweak and you'll have to ebb and flow, right, with the different seasons. But if you know that I have to have all sponsored items or applications in by this day, and then I have an email that's already drafted that tells them where to send their items and what the deadline is, then you can go and say, based on my applications, now I know I have to source this many more product, so that you have plenty of time to fill in the gaps of what maybe didn't come in with sponsorships.
Okay.
While you're promoting your boxes and getting them ready. And then you have fulfillment time because you've closed the cart.
Okay.
So I think we can write that out in a way that's going to be easy for you to be able to say, okay, it's the 15th. I know on the 15th that post goes out right before the new quarter asking for sponsorships. So we need to look at that, because I haven't done subscription boxes. So we need to like be tracking kind of the process right now.
I know there are some classes that I can take about subscription boxes. I just haven't taken anything because I was kind of in the moment with the plan. The initial plan was just really one box, was just really to do one care package. But then the more I'm thinking about it, the more thought I've put into it, into the products, I'm like, this could be a Cincinnati based box, the first one, with local vendors, and then I can expand it,
So she has a lot of value right there for you guys too, because when you think about launching something, you've got to think about it in a strategic way. And my first retreat was in Oklahoma, not by coincidence, because that is where the people are that are most loyal, that know me, that trust me, that are going to buy from me. And then I will allow it to expand further. I feel like you do have a pretty good audience because of all of your time with Reach too, and going to Rise and like different events that you've invested in. But yes, your loyal community, I think, is going to back you so strongly, especially with it being local products. And that could be something that you do, like maybe over time, if you have someone who's an affiliate or a referral partner and lives in Oklahoma, that's a box where you get to like support them, and you put their book in your box. Do you see what I mean? Like some really cool stuff. So can I ask you why you decided to not just from the heart-centered place, but from a business perspective, why you decided to do a subscription box?
Definitely, it really is from the heart-centered place. It really came from that, not being able to find what I wanted to give to someone. And honestly, because I utilize the care model to coach my clients through that. The care model is kind of how I live my life, but it made sense. The Mama Schon care packages made sense, right? But this is the year for me that I plan to put a lot of energy into making money. For me, money isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. And we've talked about this, that the energy that you put into making money, I can flow that into other good things. I have a lot of stuff that I want to do in my community, for my family, for ourselves personally. And I see this as the year to make money, if that makes sense. And I'm not talking just a living. I'm talking, so for me, it's part of my vision for my business. It's part of my vision for my brand. And that's what it's about. It isn't about the dollars and cents. It really isn't. It really is about what can I do to provide more value into this world, good value and good energy, and get that back. I believe wholeheartedly what we put out into this world comes back to you tenfold. I was at the football game, the Bengals and the Bills, when Damar Hamlin fell, when he got tackled and all that happened. But if you really look at what really happened that day, this is a man, he's 24 years old, who has put so much value and good into this world. And that came back to him way more than tenfold. And we got to see God make a presence on a football field in a stadium in Cincinnati. And you can see what God can do. So I feel like I am a soldier for God. I really am. And what good could I do if I had more money, right? So there's a baseline for that. And it's a good thing. And we've talked about this because I really do believe there's energy around that, and how, when someone puts bad energy out into the world, that's what they're going to get back. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know it's a little cheesy and I don't really care, but it's very heart-centered for me. The whole thing is really heart-centered.
Oh, it's not cheesy. No, like it is not cheesy. And the thing is, how many times have you heard, like, when when good people make good money, they do great things. Chris
Right.
Harder always says that. And then like Dave Ramsey, you guys know I went through my debt-free journey. And he always says, like, you know, to live and give like no one else. Money does not have to have a negative connotation around it. Making money allows you to then show up and serve your family, serve your life, serve your community, serve other people. Like, I can't do this work that I love to do that I feel like is my purpose if I don't make money. Otherwise, I have to go work somewhere else serving people that are not in alignment or aligned with my gifts. So mastering your money, even with these subscription boxes, what I think is neat is that you are creating another stream of revenue, like we just
Right.
talked about, that is new in your business in 2023. You're also creating, it is not passive. We're going to talk, but we can look at ways to make it a little bit more systemized so that it's not so time consuming by creating those automatic sequences that go out, taking applications, getting the sponsorships, and automating that part. And also, because this is just an idea that came to me, that's what I can kind of see is having your community be a part of it, having your kids be a part of it, and showing behind the scenes has to be a huge part. Now that you spoke it out to LCG, let's put it out into the world. Because when we speak it out, we're telling God, we're telling universe, we are serious and we're ready. Like, we're ready to make this happen. So like showing them of like Mama Schon picking out the box sizes, like there is so much that goes into these, and that is your heart that goes into creating this vision. So yeah, so what your worry was kind of the time aspect, and I think you can create a launch strategy and some automation and some templates to make it more streamlined that we can go through. And then I think the next step would be showing behind the scenes and getting a wait list. Let's find out who your warm audience is and get them engaged and interested. But I want you to ask, we're about at the 20-minute mark, but I want you to like definitely be able to ask any other questions that you have about the box or that you want to pick people's brains on.
I think maybe what kind of boxes would they like to see? Like, I love the Galentine's box. I love, you
Yeah,
know,
they're gonna
so
want
if
it.
there's any kind of box that someone would like to see, that would be helpful too, you know.
I'm looking to see. I think it would be really cool to, okay, so you know how you see, not for maybe right now, but in the future, having like some type of box that's about the book, like your top favorite books on self-development or something, because you know, you see so many people that are asking for book recommendations. And I think that's a really cool way to connect people, almost like they're those who are reading the care packages, you know, that we're all going to be reading those books. And growing, people always are like, I want to read this many books. Well, it'd be cool. Like, I see a box I think that Chris gets in the mail, and it sends her a book
Yeah.
recommendation for I don't know how often she gets them. I think they're quarterly or
And I
something.
thought about a children's box because then I could put my children's books in that box.
Yes, and that's a cool thing. Like, your kid gets mail. I remember Leah being like, "Oh my gosh, I got a letter!" Like,
Yeah.
I love that, and that's something outside of the traditional like Easter box. Like, I think you did something like that before, didn't you? That was like around Easter or something
I've done
for the kids.
books like, well, I had a holiday bundle with a
That's what.
sticker pack and the books. Yeah, that's what I did recently for my books. Yeah.
So
And
I
that
think that's
went well. But it wasn't like a box. Do you know what I mean? It was just a gift pack.
okay. And the last thing that I want to highlight you for, as far as the strategic part of the business plan, is like, other than like the stream of revenue and all of that, is look how well it complements her existing brand. And well, her new brand even, but like it complements it. Like, her children's books is something that is different than her coaching and coaching of women and supporting women. And so now she's going to be able to send this to her clients, but also be able to reach other women who may need her services. It's complementary. It's such a great addition rather than this whole separate vision. So I think that's going to be very organic. Oh yeah, Megan said a children's care box with your books. And then Angela said, I'm having a baby in 5 days. So mama self-care is hot on my mind. Then those who can always be given as gifts around Mother's Day, etc. So like, if you didn't, yeah, that's a great idea. Those could be repurposed. So yes, I think tracking your production right now, so we know kind of what things are taking a lot of time, and knock those out, creating our launch strategy and automation. And I think that you're on the right track.
Well, thank you I'm so excited. I've been really secretive about this, and my close friends really didn't even know, because I've been kind of behind the scenes. And I think there's always a sense of, am I going to fail? But failure is just a word, and it's not really an option in this situation. I know that they're going to do well. I know that this is will be valued. So I'm trying to so this is great that I got to release it very subtly today here in LCG. So super excited about that. It was kind of forced me out of my comfort zone to get it out there.
Right. And like now we're all hyped. Like, who's signing up out of the 7 of you guys for these subscription boxes?
Yes.
So this is what was my vision, guys. It's crazy because we literally have dove into all of this within 20 minutes. And like when she hopped on, I said, we're not even going to talk about anything because I want it to be so organic and raw. But it's so neat when you just have someone ask you a question, or you get ideas, or you're getting feedback. And that's what I think is the power too of having a mentor and having a community. And that's why I have both. We have a free community because everyone needs community. But when you need that extra support that's one-on-one, that's what we're here for. It's really important. And thank you for being my hot seat #1, Mama Schon. If you guys like these and want to see more, I have a few applications that came in that I shared previously. I will drop it again, but I think it'd be fun to do these every now and then.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because then
absolutely.
you guys can also see what each other's up to. So Mama Schon, do you have anything you want to wrap up on before?
Oh, I'm so good. Thank you so much for all your feedback, for all your help. I'm really excited to go back and rewatch the Zoom so that I can I took a lot of notes. I'm a note taker, but that's how I just go back through and process.
Well, you know how I take notes.
I know, Post-its.
So, but my ideas are brewing in my head, and I'm just like, how can we create this where it just kind of becomes a passion, but it can be systemized and really actually make the impact that you want and be able to share.
Time is very limited for me. You know that. I have multiple businesses, so that's important.
Well, you guys that hopped on, Angela and Megan and Brittany and JC, and I don't even know who else hopped on. You guys, thank you for coming in, supporting Mama Schon and giving your feedback. If anybody catches the replay now or even later, like when this is out in the group and it's been months and you're like, how's it going? Or I have this idea, drop her some inspiration, send her a message, congratulate her on taking this leap. And that's what it's all about. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for hanging out with Mama Schon and I. And we will talk soon.